Welcome to the studio, developers. Today, let's learn about AI hallucinations in large language models. We are taking a deep dive into a fascinating and, honestly, kind of unsettling phenomenon that we like to call the confident mirage. We're going to demystify exactly why the world's most advanced AI systems built by literal geniuses and trained on pretty much all human knowledge, will just seamlessly and confidently make things up. We're going to explore how these massive models can present absolute fact as indisputable fact, and why this actually isn't just a simple glitch. It's fundamentally how they're built to work.
To really wrap our heads around the stakes here, we have to start with a totally wild story from a real-world courtroom. Imagine you're a seasoned judge, reading through a super detailed legal brief, only to realize the foundational cases being cited literally do not exist. Gibberish and bordering on nonsensical. That is exactly what Judge P. Kevler-Castell called the legal citations in the now infamous Mata via Avianca case. See, the lawyers used an AI to help write their filing. But the AI didn't just misunderstand the law, it completely fabricated the legal precedents. The judge, the verdict, the legal reasoning, the whole shebang was completely fake.
So that brings us to a really fascinating paradox. Why exactly does the world's smartest AI just confidently invent fake laws and non-existent scientific papers? I mean, if a machine is built to process information at lightning speed, how is it capable of just making stuff up? And even crazier, how does it manage to sound so incredibly authoritative and human while delivering complete nonsense? This isn't just early software being buggy, it's a massive challenge at the very frontier of machine learning.
Okay, here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with the phenomenon itself, then define the illusion. After that, we'll cover why AI makes things up, look at the real-world consequences, figure out how to spot the fakes, and finally, wrap up with mitigating the risks.
Let's jump right into Section 1, the phenomenon, a confident mirage. So, the saying goes, AI doesn't lie, but it hallucinates. And, that is arguably worse. To get why, we need to bust a really common myth right now. Large language models do not look up facts in some giant database like a search engine does. There's no internal encyclopedia they're checking. Instead, you've got to think of them like a supercharged autocomplete. They are probabilistic engines predicting the most plausible next word based on patterns in their training data. When you ask them something they don't know, they aren't naturally wired to just say, "Hey, I don't know." The math just keeps turning, predicting the next logical word, which often leads to incredibly articulate, pure nonsense.
Moving on to Section 2, defining the illusion, not just simple errors.
So, the formal definition of an AI hallucination is the generation of content by a large language model that is fluent and syntactically correct, but factually inaccurate or entirely fabricated. The word itself has a pretty cool history, actually. It started in psychology, crossed over to computer vision around 2015 when image software started seeing things that weren't there, and now it's heavily used in text AI. The absolute key here is the phrase fluent and syntactically correct. The AI isn't spitting out broken code, it's writing beautifully structured, grammatically perfect sentences that are completely unhinged from reality. We generally put these errors into two distinct buckets. First, we've got factuality hallucinations. This is when the AI directly contradicts facts about the real world. Like if it wrote an amazing, detailed essay claiming Thomas Edison invented the telephone. Then we have faithfulness hallucinations. This happens when the AI just ignores your specific instructions or context. Imagine feeding it a dense financial report and asking for a summary, and it just hallucinates revenue numbers that were literally never in the original text. It wasn't faithful to the source material.
All right, Section 3, why AI makes things up. Under the hood of the probabilistic engine.
Why do these fabrications actually happen? Well, first, look at the training data. Because these models are trained on massive, unfiltered sweeps of the internet, they naturally absorb human biases and widespread misconceptions, what researchers call imitative falsehoods. The model is optimized to sound like us, not to act as a strict fact-checker. Plus, they run into literal blind spots called copyright gaps. A lot of the world's most accurate information, like specialized medical research, is hidden behind paywalls. Since the AI is structurally built to always answer, when it gets a question about something it couldn't read, it just fills in the blank with a highly educated but completely fake guess.
There's another huge piece to this puzzle. It's called the likelihood trap. If an AI always just picked the absolute most statistically likely next word every single time, it would sound super repetitive and robotic. To fix this, developers inject mathematical randomness during the decoding phase, often called adjusting the temperature. This randomness gives the AI that conversational, creative flair. But it's a double-edged sword. That exact same randomness dramatically increases the risk of the model wandering right off the path of truth and spiraling into pure fiction.
Which leads us to Section 4, real-world consequences when the mirage causes harm.
Over the past few years, the fallout has been super real. We talked about May 2023, with those lawyers in the Avianca case facing sanctions. But it goes way past law. By mid-2023, the Curious Journal of Medical Science found totally fabricated AI medical references in submitted academic papers. Fast forward to early 2024, and researchers at the University of Mississippi discovered something crazy. 47% of student AI citations were fake. Basically, almost half the time, students were turning in papers backed by imaginary authors and made-up academic journals. To put that into perspective, just look at this number, 69. That is the number of completely fake tracking links, digital object identifiers, generated by GPT-3 out of just 178 references in a single medical study. Think about how dangerous that is. The AI synthesized a real-sounding medical paper, gave it a plausible author, stuck it in a real journal, and completely forged the digital barcode from scratch. If professionals just blindly trust the AI without verifying, the whole foundation of scientific research gets incredibly shaky.
Let's get into Section 5, Spotting the Fakes, Building AI Literacy. So how do we protect ourselves? You have to build good habits. Number 1, always independently verify highly specific details. Names, dates, stats, citations. Those are prime targets for hallucinations. Number 2, demand live sources from the AI and actually click the links to make sure they aren't dead ends. 3, be incredibly suspicious of overly confident, super specific answers. Paradoxically, the more certain the AI sounds about some obscure niche topic, the more you need to double check it. And finally, try to use grounded AI models that actually connect to live web search. Treat the AI as a powerful brainstorming assistant, absolutely not an oracle.
Let's finish up with Section 6, Mitigating Risks, Systemic Technical Solutions.
Now, developers are fighting back against this at the architectural level. The biggest tool right now is Retrieval Augmented Generation, or RAG. Basically, instead of making the AI take a closed-book test based on its training memory, RAG connects it to live, real-world databases, turning it into an open-book test. There are also tweaks like attention-sharpening regularizers, which force the network to focus more on logic. But maybe the most important is behavioral calibration. This literally means scoring and actively rewarding the AI during training for just admitting, hey, I don't know, rather than confidently guessing.
But here is the ultimate takeaway, and it's absolutely crucial to remember. Hallucination isn't a bug they'll fix, it's a fundamental property of how LLMs work. Because these engines are built from the ground up to imitate language and generate creative, diverse text, the underlying tendency to hallucinate is an innate feature. It's the cost of doing business with a system that generates rather than just retrieves. It's not a glitch that's going away in the next patch. Which leaves us with a pretty profound question. The Nobel Committee recently praised an AI for its imaginative protein creation, dreaming up biology that literally never existed. So we have to ask, is the exact mathematical mechanism that causes these dangerous fake court cases also the spark of the AI's greatest creative potential? Is the bug actually the feature? If you enjoyed the video and learned something new today, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button along with the bell icon.